afternoon. So, this presentation is for human factors approach to seafaring performance. Protection and insurance clubs, P&I clubs, provide liability for coverage for commercial operations and tend to have a more supportive relationship with ship owners. The purpose is to reduce the possibility that a loss will occur, and when the losses occur, because sometimes they do occur, to reduce the severity of the losses that occur. P&I clubs have taken around the world notice of the mental health issues, and like every job, quality of the work is the ultimate goal. In the measure of seafarers' success, mental wellness is only surpassed by necessities and physical wellness. Mental health matters even more than safety, because without it, you cannot achieve safety, and without proper safety, you cannot have quality of operations. We think like the profession like a kettle because there are dangers involved due to operations of dangerous equipment, mercy of weather and seas, and people being away from home. There are physical demands because of the different zones that the seafarer has to follow, weather conditions, difference in environmental, because of vessel sailing from north to south, it has severe weather changes in a matter of temperatures. The job is physically demanding. It requires longer hours of work in several occasions, cutting sleep time, and more stressful job situations. The noise and the vibration on board throughout the day and night is also an issue that brings stress to the people. There's also the fact of isolation. People are isolated. They were more in the older days, now it's better with internet connectivity. But again, there are issues. Communication equipment, although they are very reliable nowadays and they are very stable, failures do occur, and several backups for the crew is not available. So although the technologies have innovated, there is still a challenge for the communications. And the crew has limited resources. This means that stress management and recreation on board is a challenge for the ship owners, and insurers are also concerned about it. Of course, not all wounds are visible, but the mental health risks which may contribute to claims can be determined by looking at past claims and conducting root cause analysis. Several mental health-related risks is a suppressed existing condition that nobody can be aware of, diagnosed but untreated condition, physical injuries, traumatic past experiences, and stress factors on board, at home, or a combination of all of the above. There are several signs that something is wrong and can be seen on board. There's the aspect of the behavior, how the person behaves towards the other crew members or the officers on board. There are several thoughts that you see somebody being concerned of things, physical symptoms like he's always tired, he has weight loss, he does not eat well, and feelings. He's unhappy or irritated. When I was sailing on board, I always was checking in every month we have the pay slip, the account we give to the crew. So I was checking also on consumption of cards, internet usage, phone cards. So usually seafarers have a pattern. If he's using 2 cards per month, he's trying to use 2 phone cards per month. If suddenly he goes to 6 or 8 or 12 cards, this means that there might be some problem in personal issues or on board. You never know. So it's good you always have a talk with him and listen. Most important is listening the crew members than talking to them, and ask them what's wrong, why you change your behavior in this thing. On board there are several stressors. Monotony is one of them. A ship sailing in a passage for 1.5 months, it brings a monotony after some time. It brings some stress. Impeded from going ashore. Crew members nowadays, there are difficulties to go ashore, based on country restrictions or areas that we are not allowed to, or due to even the piracy situations that is developing. There are cultural barriers on board which are faced due to multinational crews employed on board. I've seen vessels with, of 24 crew members with 12 nationalities. So it would be different to combine the people, to cooperate among them, because the thought is that if you have a chief engineer who's from India, and second engineer who's Greek, and third engineers who are from another country, it's not only the culture, it's also the communication barrier that comes up. Because, okay, everybody speaks English, but the quality of English of a guy who's grown up in India with a guy who is from Philippines or from Russia or from Ukraine, they have different vocabulary, different sentences they're using. So it brings also a barrier among them. Exposure to drugs and alcohol. This is not that much common anymore because of the restrictions imposed. No alcohol on board. Most of the vessels are alcohol-free. Job security and criminalization of seafarers. Job security nowadays, because there's a high demand in crew on board, as said by my previous speakers on here, it's not that important. I don't believe people consider that as much. Criminalization of seafarers is a criminal activity. If you do something wrong, especially the master, has serious penalties and serious impacts, not only to the law, but also to the company. You have serious responsibility. The capacity of the seafarers to maintain their positive mental health while on board. They must have a ship morale. Well, that's to the individual. What the others can do and the company is to have stress relievers. We can provide adequate rest if you have a good organization and you think about it. But for the resting thing, the crew has also to have the liberty to talk to you. They have to be free to talk to the master or to the chief officer. You know, I'm working from 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's noontime. I need some rest. You know, you cannot think of the schedule of its guy, how he works. There are 24 people on board. You cannot run behind everybody. Judgment and stigma-free environment. We don't have to judge everybody for his decision or for his comments. Resources made by companies nowadays, they are improving. We have the resources, we have the material. They are provided by most of the companies. And the company and the seafarer must be responsible, because all of these factors will help to develop a healthy working environment for everybody that can improve and can bring better conditions for everybody on board. For example, in a vessel we had a cinema. So every one week we gathered in the conference room and we had a cinema night. And why chose the conference room? I chose the conference room because I wanted to be a neutral environment. I did not want to be officers' mess room or crew mess room, so somebody will be buttoned up. So there are things that the people can do on board, the masters can do on board, and the companies can assist. So having caring, supportive conversation with someone that is worried, we have to allow them to share what they're experiencing. Of course, all people are not the same. Some people are open-minded, some people are closed. So there comes the master who has to help the person who is closed to open up and to talk to you freely. A conversation is a way to show that you care. This allows you to gain more information about the level of the distress and what the problem the seafarer is facing. Reach out to the individuals in your life you are concerned about and encourage them to get the care they need. And assume you are the only person they can reach out. And don't leave it just to one guy who is the captain usually. Everybody must be in this way. In the vessels I sailed on board, I was the guy who everybody reached out to me to tell me their problem, to lean to them, and to see what was the best solution with the company we could do for them. Problems could be a delivery. His wife was pregnant and she was ready to deliver the baby and she wanted to go home. And when you reach out to them, they tend to understand the problems, and you must be honest with the people. to tell them what's going on behind the scene. Do they have a crew member to send on board? They don't have a crew member to send on board. What is the expected time that you have been provided that he will sign off? Generally, we always have to help the people on board and from the company organization and from the P&I clubs and to be supportive. Thank you for your attention.